During the Kyōhō era, Edo was under the rule of the 8th shogun, Tokugawa Yoshimune, remembered as the Wild Shogun. Stern yet pragmatic, he promoted frugality, upheld the law, and kept a sharp eye on commoners. Yet in his days as lord of the Ki domain, tales of his boldness and numerous liaisons with women were widespread. Thus, whispers circulated among townsfolk and masterless samurai. Might there be hidden children of the shogun, living unnoticed in the world? It was by exploiting such rumors that a wandering ascetic, Ten'ichibō Kaigyō, stirred up one of Edo's great scandals. In the summer of 1728, in the post town of Shinagawa, at a temple called Jorakuin, an unusual yamabushi, mountain ascetic, took up residence. Yamabushi refers to practitioners of shugendo, a Japanese tradition of mountain asceticism. They were believed to gain supernatural powers through rigorous training in the mountains. Existing since the Heian period, they gained the devotion of both samurai and commoners in the medieval era. Combining the roles of prayer specialist, sorcerer, and ascetic monk, they performed rituals such as healing the sick, praying for victory in battle, and calling for rain. In short, Yamabushi were ascetics who trained in the mountains and were thought to aid people through prayers and spiritual powers. He called himself Tenichibo, and whenever asked about his origins, he declared,
"I am of Ki blood, the hidden son of Shogun Yoshimune himself. Soon, the bakufu will summon me, and I shall be raised to the rank of daimyo."
With silver-tongued promises, he gathered around him desperate rōnin, pledging offices and titles.
"You shall be my chief retainer. You shall be my steward."
To starving, jobless swordsmen, such words were nectar. Before long, more and more men flocked to Jorakuin, convinced they were serving the shogun's secret heir. A rōnin was originally a samurai who had lost his lord or position of service. In the Edo period, rōnin came about when their lord was defeated in battle, when they lost their posts due to misconduct or the abolition of their clan, or when they chose to abandon their domain on their own. Although they retained the legal status of samurai, they lived without a master and thus faced an unstable life. To make a living, some took up side jobs, opened martial arts schools, or worked as bodyguards, while others banded together with fellow rōnin. However, there were also those who fell into gambling or a life of lawlessness. Because they lacked stable income, rōnin were often seen as even more precarious than lower-ranking samurai, and both the shogunate and townspeople regarded them as potential threats to public order. In short, a rōnin was a samurai who, having lost his place of service, drifted through society without a fixed role. But one rōnin chose another path. Alarmed by the scheme, he rushed to the residence of Ina Tadatsugu, the Kanto Daikon, regional governor.
"My lord, in Shinagawa there dwells a yamabushi claiming to be the shogun's son. He gathers rōnin by the day. Should this go unchecked, it may grow into calamity."
Startled, Ina launched an inquiry, summoning local headmen and landlords. Their testimony confirmed it. A man named Tenichibo was indeed gathering followers while claiming the shogun's bloodline. The report ascended through the ranks, until at last it reached Shogun Yoshimune himself. According to rumor, Yoshimune muttered,
"I may have some recollection."
His past indiscretions with women were no secret. An illegitimate child was not beyond possibility. And so, rather than seize the impostor outright, the bakufu chose caution, probing carefully before acting. By March of 1729, Tenichibo was summoned to face questioning. Tenichibo's tale was elaborate.
I was born in Kitanabe in 1699. My mother served in the castle and conceived me there, before being sent home to give birth. She told me always to cherish the character Yoshi. She died when I was 14. I then took vows as a yamabushi, naming myself Kaigyō, as my lineage destined me to be sought out by the shogunate.
To his rōnin followers, he boasted,
I have already received the sword from the shogun. I offered 30 silver coins as incense money at the shogunal memorial. Soon, I shall be ennobled as a daimyo.
But as inquiries deepened, every claim unraveled. There was no proof, only a web of lies. A charlatan who dares to claim the blood of the Tokugawa, leading rōnin astray. Such insolence cannot be forgiven. His crime was grave. In April 1729, under the judgment of the finance magistrate, Tenichibo was sentenced to death by decapitation, his head to be displayed at the execution grounds. This is exactly place where it happened. On April 21st, he was executed at Suzugamori in Shinagawa. His head was placed on public display, a grim lesson to all. Jorakuin, too, was condemned. Accounts differ as to whether he was executed or exiled, and the rōnin who followed Tenichibo were punished with exile to distant islands or banishment from Edo. Meanwhile, the whistleblower Honda Gizemon was rewarded with 5 pieces of silver. The Tenichibo incident was more than a mere fraud. Edo in those days was flooded with rōnin, men desperate for a post, hungry for a patron. For them, the promise of serving a hidden shogunal son was irresistible, even if illusory. In later years, the story found new life in the popular storytelling art of kōdan, within the cases of Magistrate Uka. Though Magistrate Uka Tadasuke had no historical role in the affair, he was cast as the wise judge who unmasked Tenichibo's deceit. Thus, the tale spread as entertainment, recited in theaters and etched into the memory of the common people. The illusion of a mere yamabushi gave momentary hope to the hungry hearts of the masterless samurai and stirred such unrest that it shook the very streets of Edo. The Tenichibo incident revealed how easily people can be deceived by lineage, status, and authority. For us today, it serves as a lesson to keep a critical eye toward those who flaunt appearances, follower counts, or spread unfounded provocations on social media. Japan Bee is a channel that randomly shares information about lesser-known aspects of Japanese culture, spanning across various genres.